Today we want to talk about another genre, and it's called science fiction or sci-fi. And basically what it means is that it has some parts of it that are scientific, but it ends up being more of in the fantasy range. And one of the things that they talk about in a science fiction would be like time travel. So the series of books that would go along with that is this one's called the Time Warp Trio, and it's Tut Tut, and that's the story that I'm going to read just the first chapter out of. And there's a whole series of them. Knights of the Kitchen Table, The Not So Jolly Roger. This is another one, The Good, the Bad. Excuse me. Your mother was a Neanderthal. And then we have The Good, the Bad, and The Goofy. And so we have three of those, four possibilities. Oh, and 2095 is the other one. So that would be actually six in that series. And it's written by John Scieszka, and Lane Smith is the illustrator. And once again, you remember Lane Smith is a little bit interesting for his pictures. Again, this one doesn't have a lot of pictures in it. I opened the door to my room and saw a terrible scene. A giant woman stood in King Tut's tomb. An even bigger cat crouched just behind it. "Anna!" I yelled. "What are you doing?" Sam and Fred pushed into the room behind me. "She's wrecking our ancient Egypt project," said Fred. He tossed an extra figure out of his diorama. "Ms. B would kill me if she found G.I. Joe in my making of a mummy." Sam picked up another action figure. "I'm sure she'd love Spider-Man in my Book of the Dead scroll and Barbie in Joe's King Tut's tomb." "That is not Barbie. It's the goddess Isis," said Anna. "I didn't know Isis wore high heels," I said. "And would you please get that stupid cat away from the tomb? She's licking the burial chamber." Anna took the cat and her doll and settled them both in her lap. "Cleo is not a stupid cat, and she wasn't licking your stupid burial chamber. She was helping Isis stop the evil grave robbers from breaking into the Queen Pharaoh's tomb." "You are such a pain," I said, "and that shows how much you know about ancient Egypt. Only kings were pharaohs. They never had women pharaohs." I wiped the cat slobber off my model of King Tut's tomb. "Oh, yes, they did," said Anna. "Oh, no, they didn't," I said, doing my most annoying imitation of Anna's voice. "Well, who is this then?" said Anna. She opened one of the books on my desk and pointed to a picture. Sam adjusted his glasses and leaned over to take a closer look. "Now that's the goddess Isis. You can tell because she has that thing that looks like a chair on her head. And there's that same throne shape in the hieroglyphic next to her. That's her cartouche signature thing. Pharaohs are usually depicted wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt and or the red crown of Lower Egypt," said Fred in his fake teacher voice. He flipped up the bill of his baseball cap. "Only the most awesome pharaohs wore the Blue Jay crown of Toronto." "But I saw a picture of a woman wearing the two pharaoh crowns," said Anna. "I'll bet you your week's allowance you didn't," I said. "I'll bet you I did," said Anna, putting Cleo down and looking through the pile of Egypt books. "And you have to clean the kitty litter for my week too," I added. Sam drew a few more teeth on the figure of the devourer in the weighing of the heart scene in his scroll, then stood back to admire all three projects. "Congratulations, trio," said Sam. "Here we have three excellent projects on ancient Egypt, finished one whole day before they are due. And nobody even mentioned using a certain book to help us with our research." Fred turned his Blue Jay's cap inside out and balanced it upside down in his head. "We must be getting smart." "I wouldn't go that far," said Sam. "I'm still time-lagged from our last adventure," I said. "Plus, I promised I wouldn't use the book again until I figured out every tip and rule in there." "Aha!" yelled Anna. "Here it is." Cleo jumped on the desk and rubbed her cheek on the book Anna held. "I found it. A picture of a lady wearing both crowns. Anna held up a thin blue book with twisting silver designs. A faint green mist began to form on the sugar-cubed steps of King Tut's tomb. "No!" screamed Fred, Sam, and I in unison. Fred and I dove for the book. Sam dove for the door. We met in mid-jump and ended up in a pile on the floor. "Yes, it is," said Anna. She scratched Cleo's head and studied the picture in the book. "See, there's the white crown." "I don't want to be a mummy," moaned Sam in the gathering green cloud. "And there's the red crown." A flower of dense green fog bloomed and covered book, sister, and cat. "Here we go again," said Fred. Then the fog swallowed us, and we were gone. If you want to find out what happens, you have to read the book. Tut, tut. Some other science fiction books that we have are a series that you might be familiar with. It's The Magic Tree House. This one is Midnight on the Moon. And once again, we have a bin filled with those. So that's a possibility. Beast Quest is another one where kind of change shapes in these particular ones. And again, magic's involved and creatures that are not existing in the real earth. Another one would be The Littles Give a Party, and these are tiny people who live in the house and nobody knows that they're there. So really, 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 really tiny people. Another one would be Among the Imposters, which is among the Hidden series, and those are written by Margaret Peterson Haddix. Excellent series. I think it's really good at the beginning, and then as she continues writing, maybe not quite as good, but definitely the first 3 or 4 books in the series are well worth your time. And then this one's called The Secrets of Droon, and once again we have wizard training and all kinds of fun things in this one. So lots of possibilities in science fiction if you're interested in that. And again, read 20 minutes every day or be read to 20 minutes. You can do 10 minutes at a time, do a lot longer. Summer is already, we're almost a week into it, and hopefully you are using your time wisely. See you next time. Bye-bye.